Hello my treasure, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're gonna go for part 3 for slow damage. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting because we are now in District A, where we are gonna look at a deathmatch. And will we see Ray? Will there be new characters introduced? I don't know, so let's go check it out. Because no normal people ever came around, nearly all the shops had closed their doors for good. Oh my gosh, the deeper you travel into the district, the rougher and dirtier the city became. The place was the busiest at night. By some unspoken rule, that was when everybody showed up. Uh-oh, this is not good, right? Oh, it's gonna be scary. Oh, there we go, here we have the crowd. As the four of us walked to the heart of the District A, the sound of scuffling and jeering grew louder. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be bad. Kotaro grinned. Here, unlike anywhere else, the air smelled of dust and copper. And unlike anywhere else, everyone's smoke was full of chaotic energy. The countless colors shifted and blurred together like an aura of reject crayons. Reject crayons.
平和平和この間の見せしめが効いたね。
Oh my god.
見せしめ？ああ、銃ぶっ放しまくってたやつか。まあ、吊るしといたからな。
They strung him up?
銃は使用禁止になったのか？
Yeah, I hope so. Eiji shook his head in response to my question.
いえ、使用禁止という明確なルールは作ってません。相変わらず暗黙の了解状態です。
Ah, it's an
そのせい
unspoken
か、
rules.
負けたことが悔しくてどうしても勝ちたい、復讐したいって新参者が銃を持ち込むことも増えてきてるんですけどね。
That's not nice. Technically, deathmatch rules permitted the use of weapons. However, weapons gave the armed fighter a huge advantage over the unarmed. So there was an implicit agreement among the participants not to bring any. Nevertheless, as Eiji said, some came armed regardless. These types were seen as cowards, and they were sometimes lynched as a warning to others. Oh my god, that's
この間
bad!
吊るしたやつはリンチを止めに入った俺らにも銃を向けてきたからよ。
Oh
そ
my
りゃぶん
god.
殴るよな。
Ugh.
そうじゃなくても銃や武器が絡むと試合じゃなくて戦争が始まっちまう。
Yeah, that's
そういう
true.
アホを見つけたらボコって持ち込んだ武器と一緒に吊るしとくとね、それなりの効果があるんだよね。
Oh my
もし
gosh,
勝
that's
ち
so
まってが戦争だ
dark.
ったら、その矛先は必ず高里組に向きます。それじゃ進行味がめちゃくちゃになっちゃいますから。どんなに混沌としているように見えてもバランスは大事ですからね。
みんなが平和に暮らすためってとこか。
It's kind of like keeping the peace, yeah. As I listened, I thought to myself, what does peace even look like here in Shinjuku? Yeah, it's, you know, let's only do fist fights, don't bring in guns. Once you fell into the depth of hell, you wouldn't be climbing back out again. No, you'd have to make your peace down here. And our little rock-bottom society played by its own rules. I was merely a cog in the machine. But believe it or not, I kind of liked it down here. Nothing worth caring about, nothing that could tie me down. In that sense, yeah, maybe it was peaceful. Kinda. A nearby ring of onlookers started to cheer, and I looked over. A rainbow of smoke blurted together, flaming widened. But I watched it all with cold indifference. He doesn't care, right? He just wants his and his smoke. How did we get at the bar? After I left the deathmatch area, I was sitting in some random bar getting drunk when my phone buzzed. There was a new message in the group chat between me, Rei, and Taku. Oh. Taku, got a call about a critical patient. Come over, ASAP. Okay. Okay, we need to run. As it happened, I was thinking of going home anyway. Cigarettes between my lips, I paid my tab and walked out. Oh my gosh, there's a critical patient. We need to save the patient. Doctor! Doctor! Where's Taku? Taku! A few minutes after I arrived back at the clinic, Ray showed up. The patient was gravely injured, but this was no ordinary patient. Uh-oh. A group of men, possibly the guy's buddies, carried him in through the back entrance. His shirt was stained red with blood. All of them were wearing flashy clothes with lots of accessories. These weren't innocent civilians. These were Yakuza. Oh no, no, no! Most of the many medical facilities in Shinkyomi claimed to refuse service to gang members. In reality, a lot of them accepted those same patients behind closed doors, and this clinic was one of them. We were so often visited by the Yakuza, you'd think Taku was one of them. No, Taku is sweet! Word on the street was that he had earned the Takasatagumi's trust. Sometimes he would suddenly close the clinic or change office hours just to accommodate these special patients. Out of respect for his civilian patient, he made the gang bring their wounded in through the back, but it was an open secret at this point. This didn't scare off any of his regular patients. However, doctors as good as Taku were hard to find. Besides, the residents of Shinkyomi accepted that these things came with the territory of living here. Oh, hi, Ray! Oh my god. With permission, Ray began to remove the patient's shirt as he lay on the exam table. The man was sweating bullets, gritting his teeth to endure the pain. Stripping him revealed a stab wound in his side, covered in blood. Oh gosh. Oh! Frowning, Taku examined the cut, then started patching him up. Ray and I assisted him as needed, following orders as he gave them. Okay, Ray, we're done. After he finished administering the first aid, Taku let out a long sigh. Oh boy. The patient had regained a lot of color in his complexion compared to when he first arrived, and he seemed calmer now. I hope it doesn't hurt. Oh, it's just some rando. We don't care about randos. Grunting, the man tried to push himself into a sitting position. Taku held out a hand to stop him. Yeah, you need to be, calm down. Oh my god. Ignoring Taku's request, the man sat himself up regardless. Then, clutching his bandaged side, he slowly hopped off the exam table. Is he gonna survive? Taku didn't bother trying to stop him. He knew precisely what kind of world this man lived in. The man snatched up his neatly folded shirt and started walking, pressing his hand against the wall for support. Oh boy. He left accompanied by his associates. Yeah, just go. Get them out of here. Ray hurried after them. They would be leaving through the back, the same way they came in. The man's medical expenses would then be billed to the Takasatagumi directly. I was wondering how he's gonna pay his bill. As Taku and I tidied up the medical equipment, Ray came back into the exam room and let out a giant sigh. Oh, Ray, you look so cute and adorable! Yeah. Yeah.
もちろん分かってはいるんだけどね。あんな状態で返すのって本人の意思だから仕方がないんだけど。
患者が望まないのであれば。
We can't do anything about them. They're Yakuza. That's just apparently how it goes.
そうなのよね。
Ray nodded to himself sadly, his eyes on the floor. Ray, you're in death matches. Why are you feeling sorry? This sort of thing didn't happen every single day, but it was fairly frequent. Judging from his stab wound, the patient probably got embroiled in some sort of fight. But Yakuza weren't the only ones who had to worry about physical danger. Everywhere you looked, the city was dripping with death and violence, the product of pent-up rage that no one knew how to allay. By this point, the line between Yakuza and civilian had blurred beyond recognition.
あとはもう大丈夫かしら。
Okay, bye-bye, Ray!
ああ、来てくれて助かったよ。急に呼び出してすまなかったな。
いいのよ。
Oh, you need to buy him parfait again.
あと、明日の炊き出し、よろしくな。
Oh, soup kitchen. What are you doing?
炊き出し
Yeah, I had the same question. The unusual phrase gave me a pause, but Taku rolled his
先
eyes.
週から言ってただろう。
I'm sorry, I forgot.
路上生活者や仕事が見つからない人たちを支援するボランティアのイベントだ。
Okay, we're doing volunteer work. Toa was like, what? Come to think of it, I vaguely remember that conversation. Stuff I didn't care about generally wasn't a priority to
よ
me.
ろしく頼むな。あとは俺がやるから帰っていいぞ。
Okay. Get some sleep. Oh, great. We need to get sleep. At his prompting, Ray and I left the room. Okay, we're going home.
とは
Oh no, what do you want, Ray? As I was about to head up to my apartment, Ray stopped me. Hi,
最
Ray.
近絵の方はどうなの
Ah.
誰かいいモデルは見つかった
No! Why is the music turning into the sway music? I shook my head. Ray was referring to my article on the Fourth Phase Roost Company blog, recruiting potential art models. Outside of being an all-round degenerate, art was my sole hobby, specifically oil painting. Ray liked my work a lot. When he showed his boss at Roost, the guy decided he wanted to display all my new pieces in his establishment. That said, I couldn't paint a thing without a model, and not just any model. One who met my specific requirements. Here it comes! The manager of Roost liked to appraise and collect paintings as a hobby, and he wrote about all sorts of artists on the company blog, both professional and amateur. He also invited artists to send in photos of their submissions, which he would post on their site. And if he really liked the piece, he would display it in the bar. Periodically, articles would go up seeking models for my work. My artist allies was Euphoria, chosen for me by Ray. I didn't care too much, but apparently Euphoria had a unique style that attracted a considerable cult following. So whenever my model request went up, I'd always get a handful of responses. I was more of a steady trickle than a torrent, so I only checked my inbox whenever I felt like it. It didn't matter how interested the model was. If I wasn't interested in them, I couldn't paint them. And lately, I wasn't interested in any of the people who emailed me. Oh boy.
早く新作書いてよね
Paint something!
ファン
Go!
として楽しみにしてるんだからそれじゃ
Cannot do
おや
this
す
to
み
an artist, Ray. With a playful wink, he strode off into the staff room, humming a jaunty tune as he went. What's a jaunty tune? As for me, I took the elevator to the 3rd floor and went into my apartment. Interesting. Ooh. Then I switched on the TV, flopped onto the sofa, and grabbed my half-finished bottle of booze off the floor. After the lukewarm alcohol flowed down my throat, I grabbed a pack of cigarettes on the coffee table and lit one. Gazing up at the faint illumination of the flickering TV on the ceiling, I slowly exhaled the smoke. According to the clock on the wall, it was nearly 3 a.m. But I still wasn't sleepy, so I took another drag of my cigarette. I contemplated popping some sleeping pills. That's not good, dude. Ooh, where are we now? Oh, Imoto Central Park. The next day, Taku shook me awake and dragged me out to help with the volunteer soup kitchen event. Oh, that's where we are. But even then, we still couldn't compete with the dozens upon dozens of people who had come avail themselves of charity. Some of the volunteers looked like gangsters or host club workers. Some had showed up out of sheer boredom. Some were generally trying to do some good, while others were just trying to improve their public image. Then Ray turned up at the soup kitchen and the soup kitchen began. Okay, we ladled pork and veggie soups from big pots into little styrofoam containers and handed them to each person in line.
あら、村瀬先生、こんにちは。
Hello, random
どう
person.
もこんに
Oh,
ちは
I love it! He looks so nice.
相変わらず素敵ね。
Oh my god, who are you?
とんでもないです
As the locals passed through the line, they all said hello to Taku. They want Taku all for themselves, right? They're like, he's mine.
村瀬先生、この間はありがと
池山さ
Oh, the kindly
ん、
neighbor.
そのお孫さんの様子はいかがですか？
う。薬を飲んで寝たらすっかり良くなったみたいでな。先生のおかげだよ。
Okay.
それはよかった。
The locals all deeply appreciated Taku's caring nature. They struck up conversations with him one after
あ
another.
ら、レイ
Oh,
ちゃん
poor
も手伝ってくれて
Taku!
る
I
の
feel
ね。
so sad for him.
はーい、お手伝いに来ました。
Aww.
イケメンだから
Ray's like a little teddy
目の
bear.
保養になるわね。
やだ、そこは美人って言ってくれない
No!
と。
Oh my god! Okay, he's got some. Smiling, Ray raised a limp wrist, and the woman all giggled in delight. Like Taku, he had a favorable personality that was popular with the locals.
おう、お前も来てたのか。
Uh-oh. Oh no, it's them again! A familiar voice called out to me as I lazily helped with the soup distribution, and I looked up. There stood Kotaro, Mayu, and
と
Eiji.
は豚汁姿が様になってるね。豚汁姿って何ですか？
Eiji is so cute.
知らないよ。
This psychopath.
前らも来るんだな、こういうイベント。
そりゃ上からの命令だし、
あー
しょうがないよね。
They were ordered to
榊さ
come.
ん、意外とこういうの好きですからね。顔に似合わず。
榊さんの命令じゃ断れねえだろ。
How high?
ってことで、飼い主待たせてるから行くわ。
Don't say that. Rolling his eyes, Kotaro stalked off, scratching his head.
おいじゃん、とは
Okay, bye-bye!
失礼します。
Okay, bye-bye! Eiji bowed politely, then hurried after Kotaro with Mayu.
最近高里組もこういうボランティアのイベントによく来るようになったわね。
That's a PR thing.
イメージアップを狙ってるのかしら。
Ray gazed after the three stooges as he stirred the soup pot.
榊が次期組長の座でも狙ってるんじゃないのか。
Ah. To me, it was a pretty casual topic, but Ray frowned awkwardly. He probably felt bad that my father died or something.
榊さん、次の組長でほぼ確定らしいわよ。でも組長の座を狙ってるって言わ
Oh
れ
my
てる
god, there's a power
人も
struggle.
あのメガネの透かしてる方。おっちょ、
Oh
どうだろ
no.
うな。俺は見てない。
Ray was referring to Tono Masami, the chief administrator of the Takasato Gumi. Sasaki and Tono were diametrically opposed in every way, and as you might expect, they got along like oil and water. They don't. I looked in the direction Kotaro had gone and saw a group of thuggish youth and guys in suits. All of them Takasato Yakuza
やっ
probably.
ぱりライバル同士になるわけだから顔を合わせたくないの
they're
かしらね。
rivals.
他に次期組長候補っていないの？
I don't know if there are other candidates. He's like me, I don't know. I gazed out at the group of gangsters. The nearby civilians were all giving them a wide breath. Breath? The smoke that rose from the group was a swirl of muddy colors, but you didn't need to have special powers to know to avoid them. Then I heard Taku calling me and turned my attention back to the task at hand. Yeah, I'm coming, Taku! Wait for me! Once the long line of people finally dwindled, I was mercifully cut loose. It was just past 2 p.m. I stood in the shade of a tree, a short distance from the event space, taking a smoke break. As I stared around absently, I caught sight of a familiar man. He was wearing a gray suit and talking to the guy in charge of the charity event. Sakaki! It seemed to sense my gaze. He looked over his shoulder at me, then came walking over straight away. Oh no. Hello!
おう、 トアじゃねえか。
Well, if it isn't Toa. Sakaki was the Takasato Gumi's second in command. Given his position, the younger guys all feared him. But he was always pretty nice to me because he liked your mama. His smoke was a vibrant green color.
お前はあれか。村瀬さんのお付き合いか。
Of course we're helping, Taku.
ああ、さっき小太郎たちと会った。
Ah.
そうか。
Oh, did you? He slid both hands into the pockets of his slacks and looked around.
ああ、たまにはこういうのもきちんと見に来ねえとな。
Ah.
アジの男性レブだってそんなことばかりやってたら足元がふらついちまうからよ。今日俺たちも後ろぐらい商売だけじゃやっていけねえんだ。
A shady business deal.
企業としての体裁も整えていかねえとってやつだ。
No, so now you want to be a real company. He's like me, what? He shrugged off my absent response and grinned.
なんか困ったことがあったらいつでも来いよ。最大限のバッ
No, I don't want to come back.
映画ってのはそう長くは続かねえもんだ。いつ何時戦争が起こるかわかんねえからな。
Oh, you just love my mom, right?
それとお前。
Oh no. He leaned in to whisper in my
親
ear.
父の葬儀来なかったな。
You didn't go to your father's
行
funeral.
くわけない。
Yeah, why would I?
だよな。お前はそう言って分かっちゃいるんだが。
Yeah, I don't want to go to somebody who doesn't want me there. There was a suggestive pause as he rubbed his neck.
まあいい。じゃあな。
Okay, bye-bye! He promptly cut the conversation short and walked off with a wave.
とは
There you are. Right as he left, Ray ran up behind me. He's being stalked by everybody, right?
何榊さんと話してたの？
別に挨拶だけ。
Just saying hi. Not doing anything. Squinting dubiously, he watched Sakaki disappear into the distance.
あの人もよ
He
くわ
doesn't
かん
get
ない
him.
人よ
Okay.
ね。妙に人情派っていうか、とわをすっごく構うし、
He's trying to be your
息子の
dad.
面倒を見る父親って感じ。
Maybe he
ガ
wants
キ
to
の
be
頃
his
からの
dad.
付き合いだし。
That's true.
まあそれもそうか。そういえばもう一人のメガネの透かした方はやっぱり来てないみたい。
Okay, the big guy
で
with the
かいのが
glasses.
揃いも揃って邪魔だよ。
Oh no. Out of nowhere, a mountain of styrofoam containers appeared, interrupting us.
だ何かと思ったらおばあちゃん。
It's the lady! Hi! Beneath the mountain of styrofoam was the old lady who ran Tajima. As she held her containers, she glared up at us sharply. But as soon as she laid eyes on Ray, her expression softened slightly.
なんだよあんた。いたのかい。
She's so
い
nice,
た
Ray.
わよ。みんなのお手伝いに来たの。
Aw, Ray, don't be that cute.
ああ、人手は大いに越したことはないからね。
Okay.
でしょ？おばあちゃんたちの何倍も働けるからどんどん言ってちょうだい。
Just can't imagine him being in death matches.
助かるよ。
It's just such a cute cuddly bear. Ray had a massive sweet tooth, so he was always buying things at Tajima's. Because of that, the old lady seemed to have taken a liking to him.
おばあちゃん、それ大丈夫？持とうか？
Let me
い
help you.
や、
No,
ど
no,
う
no.
ってことないよ。他お手伝いな。
Find
わ
something
かっ
else.
たわ。でも気をつけてね。
Be careful!
ああ、
As she slowly tottered off, Ray waved goodbye and turned back to me.
イベントは16時までだからもうすぐ終わりよ。そろそろタクのところへ戻りましょう。
Go find Taku. Together, we started walking. Before long, we found Taku slumped on a bench, his hand folded on his stomach, looking up at the sky. Hi, Taku! When he spotted up, he forced himself upright. Fatigue etched deeply into the lines of his
お
face.
疲れ様。
Ah,
忙しすぎてあっという間に時間経っちゃったわね。
本当にな。お前たち何か食べたか？
you know Toa doesn't
残
eat,
り物
right?
は まだある。
And Ray only eats parfait. So
私は
sweet.
さっきもらって少し食べたわ。トアは
Toa doesn't eat. Nope. I pulled a pack of cigarettes from the back pocket of my jeans.
まさかあんたのご飯それも
Ray shot me a pointed look as I lit one up. Toa doesn't eat. I looked over in response to my name. Then Taku jerked his head to the point to point at something. I looked in the direction he indicated and saw Sakaki standing with Kotaro, Maju, and Eiji.
あいつらと話してただろ。
Yeah, I was talking to them.
話しかけられたから。
They started it.
知らなかった付き合いやすいんだろうな。あまり深く関わるな。
Yeah, Taku, I won't. Don't
そう
worry.
ね。いつトラブルに巻き込まれるかわかんないし。
It feels like Toa's like a kitty, right? Ray nodded, frowning. I looked away and didn't say anything. I wasn't trying to get in with any of them. They wanted to talk to me, so I responded. That's all. Yeah, it's just common, common courtesy. I was pretty sure Taku understood that, but because he was so paranoid about the Takasato Gumi, he kept nagging me over and over. But you just helped the Takasato Gumi! Ironic, considering how many gangsters he treated at his own clinic. See, that's what I was
今日は
saying!
ルーストに来るの
多分。
Ah.
店長が珍しいお酒を仕入れたからトアに飲んでみてほしいって
Oh
言ってた
no,
んだよ
don't try some weird
あまり
alcohol.
万人受けしない味らしいんだけどあんたならいけるんじゃないかって
Oh, he's interested in something. I was generally willing to drink just about anything alcoholic. So if he wanted me to try something, I was down for
今
it.
晩お待ちしております
Okay. Ray pressed one hand to his chest and bowed like a humble butler. Bye bye
あま
bye!
り飲みすぎるなよ。
私が見張るから任せて
Oh, babysit. Poor Toa. Ignoring their banter, I looked out at the setting sun and exhaled a lungful of cigarette smoke. Ooh. 2 a.m. Late at night. After the soup kitchen, the three of us stopped by the local diner. After that, I headed downtown. As I wandered around, looking for a place to have a drink, I heard the sounds of an argument in the distance. There was a crowd of people standing in the middle of the street.
次はないと思う。
Oh my god! Through the sea of people, I could see a man in a suit scoffing down at the ground. It was Tono! What? He was glaring down at the frightened man who had fallen to the asphalt. Then he had his cronies cut through the ground. What? As he walked, he spotted me standing there, and his disgruntled scowl shifted to surprise. His reddish-brown smoke fluttered in the breeze. Oh, there we go! New dude! Hi, creepy man. He and his cronies walked over and came to a stop right in
こん
front
な
of
ところ
me.
で会うなんて珍しいな。飲み屋探しか。
Looking for a bar. Yup! He sounded completely uninterested. Then he started cracking his neck.
今も見てたのか。
Were you watching that? Kinda?
少し。
Just a little?
近頃は借りた恩を踏み倒そうとするやつが多くてな。
Oh. It's sad. They are dead. He let out an exasperated sigh, then donned a condescending smirk.
と
Uh-oh.
ころで、昨日は炊き出しのボランティアとやらにお前も行ったのか。
Yeah, we did.
ああ、強制で。
But not by choice.
村さんか。純粋にボランティアとして参加するのは大いに結構なことだ。だが、昨日はうちの連中も来てた。
Yeah, they were there.
俺たちがそんなイベントにわざわざ参加するなんて。あざとい
It's
と
good to do volunteer work. It was a loaded statement aimed squarely at Sakaki's head. As for me, I just shrugged. Tono's lip curled in contempt.
親父が言って組もしばらくはゴタゴタするだろうが、もし
Everybody.
何か困ったことがあれば言えよ。
He doesn't deserve the title as father.
あ
Toa doesn't care. It was obvious he didn't mean a word of it, and he clearly had no intention of pretending otherwise. If anything, maybe he was just mocking Sakaki's general disposition. Okay, bye-bye. See ya. I don't want to be here. With that, he and his goons headed off downtown. Likewise, I started walking without a moment's hesitation. I need a bar! Why are we in a shady alleyway? Right as I stepped into an empty alleyway to avoid the crowds, however, my phone buzzed in my coat pocket. I pulled it out and checked the screen. Ooh, big news! Did the boss die of illness? Rumor says he was sick. Oh. It was a newsletter titled Shinkyomi Times from AZ. AZ sent them out to his mailing list periodically. I never asked for this subscription, but apparently anyone who traded contact info with him got added to it. AZ, don't do this! His stance was, if you don't like it, unsubscribe. I like that. I should also put that in my videos. The newsletter mostly featured local news, updates with a light sprinkling of unsubstantiated rumors, informal polls, and other random. It was completely useless to me, but since he only sent them every now and then, I couldn't be bothered to unsub. So here I was. I closed my inbox and opened a new browser tab. From my bookmarks, I selected Roost blog, the fourth phase. I like to check in every now and then whenever I felt like it. Sometimes there were really good submissions, so it was a decent way to kill some time. I hadn't checked in a while, so there were a fair few articles I'd missed. Apparently, they finally caught the artist who was exclusively using oil paint made from human remains. I was following that case for a while. They found the evidence that he was murdering people to make paint. Honestly, if he managed to make the Shinkyomi police force get off their asses, then he must have been a pretty criminal. Alas, now he would never paint again. Next, an article discussing an acrylic painter and how their style changed over time. While they started out painting intricate lines in pale colors, they suddenly switched to gloomy pieces painted predominantly with black. Comparing the two styles side by side, I could immediately tell it was a side effect of drug use. I'd seen these stock styles shift dozens of times in the past, and it wasn't that uncommon. I skimmed the other articles for a while, then came to a stop at one particular artist. Their alias phrase. It was a photograph of a wound, specifically a bloody cut somewhere on the body. I could tell the image had been retouched, but to me it looked like an ordinary self-harm cut. And yet, something was about it. I didn't know what it was. Was this a wrist or a leg? Oh, phrase. Interesting. Okay. For a while, I scrutinized the image, trying to work it out. Then I closed the tab. Since it was posted on Roost blog, the manager there would probably have more information about it. With that thought, I headed to Roost. Oh boy. At first glance, you wouldn't realize Roost was a bar at all. There was no sign out front, so for the most part, it just looked like a tall, spindly concrete building. Uh-oh. What's happening? Ooh, Roost. As I stepped inside, the ethereal music and the lighting greeted me like always. The bar was pretty packed, or at least I was having trouble seeing any empty seats. But this wasn't some sports bar for normies. The people who gathered here were a particular inclination that naturally resulted in tight crowds. Ray walked around waiting tables. Meanwhile, the manager quietly worked the counter. Hey, yo, manager! I want a manager like that. He had an unusual hairstyle and always wore a perfectly fitted black shirt. Late 40s if I had to guess. As he crafted cocktails, he washed dishes, he gazed around the bar. I had never seen him getting emotional or speak a single word more than was strictly necessary. Likewise, his smoke was a calm yellow color, like a daffodil. The bar was furnished with all sorts of unusual decorations and paintings. Shields and tapestries with magical motifs, porcelain dolls with cracks all over them, accessories featuring eyeballs and holy crosses. I couldn't help but wonder, where had he bought this? Don't swear. Altogether, it engendered a vibe that attracted those with eccentric taste. Everyone was welcome here. That was the manager's attitude. And so it became the dominant culture at Roost. Granted, the barrier to entry was still pretty high for the average normie, but for a fringe minority, it was home.
いらっしゃい。
Hello! Oh, sitting at the bar. As I walked up to the counter and sat down on an empty stool, the manager looked up from the glass he was
トワ
wiping.
君、待ってたよ。実はちょっと頼みがあ
Oh
って。
no, he has a special request for us.
レイから聞いた。珍しい酒があるって。
Ah.
そうそう。
Yeah,
ちょっと
let's
待って
go for the booze! He turned to the shelf behind him, grabbed the bottle and held it out for me to
これ
see.
ね。アブサン
Oh,
という日本の
absinthe!
酒で
Don't drink
いろんな
absinthe.
メーカーから出てるんだけど、
Oh, yeah. Don't do it.
こっ
Don't
ちじ
do
ゃあまり
it.
出回ってないやつをフランスから取り寄せた。
Oh, from France. Ah.
でも、この味は苦手な人
It
も多いだろ
is
うから
disgusting.
進めづらくて。トワ君ならいけるんじゃな
I
い
don't
かと
know.
思ったん
Absinthe
だ。
is really disgusting.
ちょっと飲んでみてよ。
It's not nice. He poured a small amount of the green liquid into a glass. Then he set a perforated spoon on top of a glass and placed a sugar cube on top of it. As I watched curiously, he grabbed a jug of water and slowly poured it over the sugar cube and into the glass. Apparently, he was trying to melt the sugar.
そうやって飲むのが普通なのか。
伝統的な飲み方らしいよ。だけど、なかなか手がかかるんだよね。
By the time the cube was nearly melted, the translucent green liquid had gone pale and cloudy. He stirred the glass with the perforated spoon, then slid it over to me.
はい、どうぞ。
Here you are. I picked it up and took a small sip. The cold liquid slid down my throat, leaving a bitterness in my mouth, not unlike herbal medicine. It tasted like someone put their long clippings in a juicer. It was bizarre and potent. It's disgusting. Okay, I'm sorry
砂
for
糖
all
なしで
you
もいいんじゃないか。
absinthe lovers, but it's disgusting. Doesn't really need the sugar. He nodded, smiling. Yeah, he
トワ
doesn't
君
like
ならそう
sugary
言うと
stuff.
思ってたよ。その苦味と味の強さが苦手で、砂糖を入れる人が多いらしいんだけどね。
度数は
60。
That would explain why it burned my throat. I couldn't understand its lack of broad appeal.
とは来てたんだ。
Oh, what kind of outfit is he wearing? I want to see his full outfit. Ray, show me your outfit. As I was taking my second sip, I heard a familiar voice.
はあ、
Hi,
昼間
Ray!
に運動したから疲れちゃった。
Ray strolled across the bar and sat down next to me. Though he was technically on the clock, he was allowed to sit and chat as long as it wasn't too
昼
busy.
って炊き出しのボランティア？
そう、タクが出るって言うから、私とトワも一緒にね。
Yep.
トワは私以上に疲れたんじゃない？いつもだらけてるから。
Oh, thanks, Ray. I shrugged off his teasing. He made a show of pouting.
何よ、つまんないの。あ、それマスターが言ってたお酒どうだった？
飲むか。
Gingerly, he took the glass. Like an anxious puppy, he leaned in to sniff
や
it.
だ、何この匂い。トワこれ飲んだの？飲めるの？
ま、普通に。
It's
う
decent.
わ私これは匂いだけでダメ。
His unabashed disgust got a chuckle out of the
これっ
manager.
て薬草 が原料のお酒なのよね。
そうだね。
植物か。
Plant juice.
レイ君って植物嫌いだったっけ？
花は大好きよ。でも植物って見てる分にはいいんだけど、腐ってくるとすごい匂いになるじゃない。
Ray, you're so
だから
weird.
自分じゃ買ったり育てたりする気にならないのよね。
Okay, I don't like plants either.
腐臭っていうのは
Not in my
ど
house.
の生き物も大体似たような匂いを発するんだよ。鼻に残る嫌な甘ったるさがあるっていうか、人間も植物も動物も。
Okay. The subject matter contrasted sharply with his bright smile.
店長って普段は温厚だから忘れがちだけど、やっぱりこのお店の店長よね。
Ooh. As they talked, an image rose to the forefront of my mind. The wound photo from Roos blog. Flowing blood explode. I can't talk anymore! Flowing blood, exposed flesh, the sweet smell of decay wouldn't be too out of place.
店長、聞きたいことがあるんだ。
Oh, he's gonna ask about the
ど
picture.
うぞ。
ブログに載ってた傷の画像。あれ、知り合い？
ああ、あの画像。
なに傷の画像って。私その記事まだ見てない。
He hasn't seen it.
レイ君、その前にお客さん、会計お願いします。
あ、はい。
Bye, Ray! Ray rose from his seat and walked over to the
話
register.
の続きだけど、あの画像ね。僕の知り合いじゃなくて、初めて投稿された作品
Oh,
なの。
it's a mystery.
僕も気に入ったから、作者のフレーズにメールしてみたんだけど、で、一応作品の投稿時には、メールアドレスの記入を必須にしてるんだけど、ステアドだったみたいでね。
ブログには載せてほしいけど、素性は知られたくないってことか。
多分
Interesting.
そうだろうね。連絡が取れたら店に作品を展示させてもらおうと思ってたんだけど、また投稿があるかもしれないし、僕も誰か作者を知らないか周りに聞いてみるつもり。何か分かったらトワ君にも教えるね。興味あるでしょ。
Toa wants to
ま
know.
あな。
He's interested in
だと
something.
思った。
Roos drew in not just those with electric interest, but equally eclectic artists who sought to cultivate a following. As a result, people often came here to get or give our contact info.
お会計終わったわ。さっきの話の
He
続
didn't miss
き
anything!
教えて。
Ray rushed back and eagerly leaned both arms on the
店
counter.
のブログ見てみろよ。
あ、そっか。まずはそこからよね。オッケー。
He pulled his cell phone from the pocket of his waist apron.
ああ、この画像ね。っていうかとは、これが気になったの？
The cell phone.
そう見えるけど、違う。
違うの？手首か何かを切った後の画像にしか見えないけど。もし本当に違うなら、どうやって作ってるのかしら。
I don't know.
今トワ君にも話したんだけど、メールアドレスがステアドだったから連絡が取れなくてね。フレーズっていう名前しかわからない謎の作者なんだよ。
何それ、ミステリアスじゃない。ちょっとワクワクするわね。
Ray shot me a meaningful
こ
grin.
ういう人がモデルになるといいわね。せっかくあんたが興味持ったんだし、ぴったりじゃない。
そううまくはいかないだろう。
I downed the rest of the bittersweet absinthe. Wormwood, okay.
そうだ、レイ君。
Oh my god!
店でやったボディアートの相談イベント。お客さんから好評でね。
Loved.
え、本当に？
Aw.
ああ。それでね、定期的に開催してみようかと思うんだけど、レイ君さえ良ければどう？
やるわ。あのイベント、いろんな人の話が聞けてすっごく勉強になったの。そこからお客さんになってくれる人もいたし、またやりたいなって思ってたのよ。
Body art, also known as body modification, was one of Ray's other hobbies. Considering it was a hobby, he researched it pretty thoroughly and he could perform all kinds of services from tattoos to implants. His work was highly acclaimed and apparently Roost's recent body art consultation event was a huge hit too. A few decades ago, body art was frowned upon in this country, but in recent years it became accepted for people to augment their bodies. Obviously tattoos were common, but these days LEDs and IC chips were becoming mainstream too. Some of the customers here had glowing fingernails or horns growing out of their forehead. For a lot of people, it was a fashion statement.
それじゃあまたイベントの打ち合わせしようか。
Oh my god.
よろしくお願いします。
Tray and dishcloth in hand, Ray cheerfully walked off. Bye, Ray! I stumbled down the street early the next morning after drinking at Roost all night long. Ray was worried about letting me leave, but I assured him I was used to it. What happened? This kind of thing happened all the time. What? Did you just drop on the floor? It wasn't rare for me to end up down here on the concrete either. What? I thought I was walking straight, but everything was spinning, and the next thing I knew, I was on my side. I felt a dull ache spread through my body, but it didn't really bother me, probably because I was so drunk. Now that I was lying down, however, fatigue quickly set in. I didn't want to get up again. My eyelids drooped. It felt like gravity was pulling me down hard against the ground. I guess this is happening. With that thought, I closed my eye. And because I was so wasted, I didn't take long for me to pass out. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so we passed out on the street. I think that's a good place to stop, actually. There we go. Okay, so that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and thank you so much for watching. And as always, miss you, love you, bye!